kiss the moon tonight. Watch the world go crazy from outer space. Blast off into the sky.
Sending love from up above. Happy trails, Baba.
Happy trails.
People with ADHD save 10 hours
YouTube.
studying with this Chrome extension. But no, by all means.
By all means, I'm gonna tune out of that. Changing screens.
Seems like we're live on NSP, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be back. How y'all feeling? Let everybody tune in slowly but surely on another beautiful Thursday. A cold Thursday over here in Chicago. BossDan the man.
It's getting that time of year, man. It's gonna be cold every day. No more warmth.
Maybe we'll have a day or two of warmth here and there like we did this week.
Yeah, we had like one nice day. That was kind of nice.
And then the nicest day was the rainiest day.
Yeah, of course it was.
But it's all good. It's a beautiful sunny day. No matter the time, we're over here on Northside Plugged. To my right, we got BossDan the man. It's your boy G Money G Note. And we're kicking it off strong. This will probably be the last episode of the month. We got Thanksgiving next week. That's pretty crazy. Turkey. Yeah, man. How you feeling leading up to the Thanksgiving season?
Good. I'm excited to go back to Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, you're going back?
See my friends and family.
That's great.
Going home for about a week, which will be nice. Yeah, kind of excited. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I always get anxious the first few days before, just because I don't know. I always just get anxious when I go back for some strange reason, but I'm very excited to go back and see everyone. So it's gonna be a good time.
It's always a change, a little shift, you know.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good. It's what needs to happen, you know.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. No, I always like Thanksgiving. I like Christmas too, but I don't know. There's something about Thanksgiving that I've always liked. You know. I'm not around family a lot, so it's good to like be around family in the time period.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah. No, I like this time period, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, we got a lot of sports going on. Baseball season's done, so now we're in the middle of the pack of the NFL season. NBA and NHL are starting up.
Shohei Ohtani, unanimous MVP.
Oh yeah, that's what's
The
up.
two-way king, the modern Babe Ruth.
It would be a crime if he wasn't.
Yes, unanimous, which was I don't know why. I didn't think it was going to be unanimous. I thought someone was going to give a first place vote to Vladdy Jr. But I'm kind of glad to see that Shohei got it unanimous because he deserves it because there was no one else like him. There hasn't been anyone else like him since Babe Ruth. So
Absolutely.
it was great to see that, and I'm happy. And I hope he continues to dominate like he does because it'll be great for baseball if we have a two-way player who continues to produce week in and week out like he did. And I don't want to say it's impossible to do again, but we saw it this year, and I thought it was impossible before. So
For sure.
hopefully he can keep doing the same thing that he did this year, and hopefully him and Mike Trout can finally get the Angels to the playoffs because they both deserve to play playoff baseball. They don't deserve to end their season in September.
Yeah.
They both deserve to be in the postseason. So I hope we can see more of that, see more of them in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Well, I think now that you have a unanimous MVP and obviously you have Mike Trout, you've got good pieces around in the Angels. I don't know, maybe it'll be good motivation for the front office to make the right moves. I don't know.
Yeah, they already signed starting pitcher Noah Syndergaard because one of their biggest issues was starting pitching.
Okay.
Because you had Shohei, who was also your best hitter and your best pitcher. They shouldn't be the same person.
Yeah.
So, so they signed Noah Syndergaard to a big deal, kind of 1 year prove-it deal after coming off surgery, which is a little bold, but like you said, they're trying to spend to support their guys and support the players they have. So you got to do what you got to do, and spending the money in the right spots. Hopefully that can push them to playoff contention. I mean, the Mariners are going to be the same, and they're going to be pretty decent. I'm not sure about if the Astros are going to return everyone. They're going to lose a couple people, so they might not be as good. The Oakland A's are not going to be great next year. They're losing a bunch of people. So hopefully the Angels can kind of sneak into a wild card spot or maybe even fight the Mariners for the division title. We'll kind of see what happens there. But, yeah, Bryce Harper wins MVP for the Phillies.
Nice.
One of 5 players ever to win MVP with 2 different franchises.
Wow.
Second person ever to win 2 MVPs on 2 different teams before the age of 30. The other player being my favorite, Barry Bonds. Shouts out to Bryce Harper. I just love Bryce Harper, and he's been one of my guys since he was on the Sports Illustrated cover at 16 years old, projected to be the next prodigy. I'm glad to see him produce, and people always want to say he's overrated, but it's just because he's not as flashy as a lot of these other young studs. Like, he gets on base, and that's what baseball players are meant to do. They're supposed to get on base, and he does it he does it better than almost anyone in the game, and he still produces at a high level. I hope the Phillies can get him into the postseason next year because he deserves to play some more postseason baseball. It's funny. The finalists for both the AL and the NL MVP, none of them were in the postseason.
Really?
Yeah, so that kind of the award's based on regular season because it's voted on as soon as the regular season ends because October is not taken into account.
Sure.
But you surprisingly, it just shows like where the baseball is and how some of the best players aren't on the best teams. You know what I mean? Because baseball's can be a very individualist sport when you play 162 games and your best players play most of those games, they only take 1/9 of the at bats maybe a year. You know what I mean? Like you can have LeBron go to a franchise and they can automatically guarantee like 20 more wins.
Absolutely.
But baseball, you can only put a guy once in the lineup, like batting wise. So there's only so much one player can do.
For sure.
Which is a big reason why Mike Trout has only played 3 total postseason games.
Yeah.
And you can put it to everything else in pitching and whatnot. But yeah, I just hope. I mean, I hope the Angels go to the postseason next year. The Blue Jays had 2 top 3 guys, and they are just in the toughest division in baseball. So it's going to be hard for them to kind of get there, but they have the talent to do so. And then on the NL side, the Phillies were fighting until the end there. The Padres should do well. Hopefully they can compete next year. And who was the other finalist in the NL? It was Juan Soto, who the Nationals aren't very good, but he's 23, 22 years old, and he's going to have a bright future. So a lot of the guys were like under we're pretty young, so it shows how bright baseball's future is going to be. So that's what makes me very excited about it all.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Any other big baseball news while we're on the topic of baseball?
The CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, is ending on December 1st, but both the league and the players' union have not come to agreement on a new one, which everyone's afraid will result in a strike, which probably means that the baseball season will not start on time. I want to read more about it over the next few weeks, and there'll be plenty of news coming out once December 1st hits and whatever's happening. But I hope that both sides can come to agreement soon or as quickly as possible, and to not lose any baseball or to not push the schedule back. Because after 2020, when we didn't get baseball until July, I don't think anyone wants to see less baseball anymore.
For sure.
So I just hope that both sides can figure it out ASAP, and we can fit in a 162-game season like we should.
Absolutely, man.
So that's the biggest piece of baseball news right now. Is just the lingering potential for a strike, just kind of hanging over all this news and all these players signing, and you're just like, well, there might not be a start of the season next year. You just don't know. So I hope those conversations can get done, and I hope Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, can just figure it out and just not quit these games, because he loves to shoot himself in the foot sometimes with how he hurts the game of baseball. So I would love to see him make a quick fix here and do something right for once. Absolutely, man. Well, those collective bargaining agreements are never fun for anybody, it seems, you know, but it's definitely important for, all sides to, I don't know, get what they want in general terms, and balance it all out. So we definitely hope for the best and hope to, by springtime we can get baseball back rolling, because that's definitely a key indicator that spring is around the corner. It'll be weird if baseball isn't starting right away, because it's like, I don't know. It's just tradition, Right. Oh, exactly. I agree with you 100%. It's going to be, if I don't have baseball at the beginning of April, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So you better figure it out, Major League Baseball and the Players Union. Figure that out ASAP, because if I don't have it at the beginning of April, if I don't have spring training in March to start seeing what's going to happen in the season, I'm going to freak out. So you better make it happen, people. Make it happen. Get it done, please.
Make it happen.
Get her done.
Well, I think we got to segue into an important topic that we missed on our last episode of Northside Plugged, and that is the Loyola Ramblers.
Yes.
Who are playing big money basketball.
Just wanted that
right
quick baseball while you said baseball.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted that. But yes, the meat and bones of this show today is going to be for your Loyola Ramblers.
The Blurs.
3-0 to start the season.
Nice.
Game 4 on Saturday against UIC at Loyola before they go to their tournament at the Battle for Atlantis when they go take on Michigan State next Tuesday.
Damn, that's gonna be. They're playing in Michigan State.
No, it's in a neutral location.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's Battle for Atlantis, so it's in Bermuda, I think.
In the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna play in the Bermuda Triangle, so anything can happen. So anything can happen in the Bermuda Triangle.
So we may or may not have a basketball team after that.
I hope so. I hope we still do, because this team's special.
They may just all disappear.
I know I said it last year. I said it numerous times last year that this team's special, but I think this is just a great sign of how the program is heading in a great direction.
Absolutely.
The first 3 games under Drew Valentine, you've seen his energy and he's taken a lot from Porter. You can tell with how much he emphasizes defense and how they just like a lot of the similar things you can kind of see on the sidelines, and
his demeanor too. Yeah.
It kind of I don't like the fact that they're wearing polos every game, because Drew's suit game used to be some of the best in all of NCAA.
Yeah.
So when you're limiting my man to khakis and a polo, you're doing him an injustice. I feel like the team needs to let them go back to suits, because Drew needs to get those suits off.
It's probably so much more comfortable though.
Oh, it definitely is. It's absolutely more comfortable. I wouldn't do the suits personally.
Yeah.
But I think the coaching staff looks better with the suits. Chicago State rolled in with suits on Tuesday, and that didn't work very well for them, unfortunately, as Loyola rolled them by 36 points.
They got trashed, man.
Yeah, G-Money was there. His first time back in Gentile in a couple of years, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Courtesy of BossDan, I appreciate it, man.
Not me, my fellow season ticket holders. So thank them.
Shout
I only got
out
one
to
seat.
the homies. Either way, definitely was appreciated, man. Got to see Rich from the Pole and Lil Richie.
Yeah, shouts out to both of them. I saw them at 2 back-to-back games, so props to them for coming, and shouts out to them for coming out supporting Rogers Park's basketball team,
Absolutely.
the best college program in the state,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right
I
here in the
mean,
backyard.
Come on. You feel me? Absolutely. And it's crazy because just the energy, even just being there the other day was just like, damn, man. Like, you can just tell, like, now we're fresh off 2 tournament, what's it called, appearances,
Mhm.
Final Four and Sweet 16. I mean, that's huge, and you could just feel I don't want to say winning because we haven't like truly won, but I don't know. We're not losers anymore,
Well,
We've won, but at the end of the day, you want that national championship.
Yeah, but I think for where we are as a program,
Absolutely.
the success we've had in the past 4 years is insurmountable for how much it's done to the
We would
program.
have never thought we'd be in this position.
Right, exactly. So I think you got to take it for what it is, and
Oh, absolutely.
like you can't say that we've had a bad season if you compare it to like Villanova or like Michigan State or some of these other schools that have won recently, because they have tons more money than we do for a program, and they're expected to go far in the tournament every year. So it's great that we're setting those expectations for the Ramblers. Like, they're reaching a level where they're expected to make the tournament. Like, everyone's expecting them to make the tournament this year, which you asked us that when we were freshmen, I wouldn't have believed you. I'd been like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, we have most freshmen would have been like, oh, we have a basketball team. Like, we were even talking about it when we were there on Tuesday, and the student section is the pack as they're called. The numbers for them are so much, like 1,000 times better than what they were when we were freshmen.
Yeah.
Like, when we were freshmen, you could walk into the arena and basically sit wherever you wanted. There was empty seats everywhere. There would be some games where there would be a handful of students coming out and the players like weren't motivated at all. But now the student sections are full 15 minutes before game time. They're packed. Plenty of season ticket holders coming in and supporting the Ramblers, their alma mater, whoever else. And once conference play starts, those seats will really fill in, and that bowl will get pretty packed in Gentile Arena. So that's always the best time of year once the conference schedule starts. And it's the last time we're playing conference games in the Missouri Valley, which also is humongous news, is Loyola University is moving to the Atlantic 10 next year. Doesn't make sense, we're in an Atlantic conference, but we're further east than St. Louis, and they're already in the conference, so we're not even the most western school in the conference. Just throwing that out there. But that is a ginormous, that is so good, that's so big for the program, for the school, for all of Chicago, really.
Yeah.
For the Atlantic 10, they love it because they can tap into the market and the Chicago market and kind of grow a fan base there. I know the Missouri, that's why the Missouri Valley brought on Loyola. They wanted to get a market of fans in Chicago, and they did that because I love Missouri Valley basketball. Like, I'll continue to watch Missouri Valley basketball, but now I'm excited about playing Atlantic 10 basketball with 3 other Jesuit schools, which which Dr. Rooney I think said like 5 times in their press conference. 15 teams, such a higher level of basketball, and just so much like programs that are built for basketball. It's like a basketball centered conference, really.
What are some of the teams?
St. Bonaventures, who's ranked 22 this year. You have Dayton, you have Davidson,
Okay.
you have St. Louis, you have UMass, who are doing okay, but they're kind of up and coming. Who else? There's 15 teams. Let me look up some more. I can't remember them all. I'm sorry. There's just so many teams, which is ridiculous for a conference to have 10 teams, but it's hilarious, and I love it. I did say St. Bonnet. Richmond, the Richmond Spiders.
Rich what? Richmond.
Richmond.
Rich what?
Rich who?
Richmond. Rich what?
Richmond. VCU. I apologize for VCU. George Washington, Richmond, St. Louis, St. Joseph's in Philly, LaSalle, Rhode Island, Donetsk, I have no idea to say it. Cinderella, George Mason from 2005, 2006, and Fordham. I also forgot Fordham.
St. Joseph, shout out Chris Mullen.
Yes, sir. Yes. So plenty of schools. It's going to be a big conference. It's going to be a lot of good basketball games.
That's dope.
It's going to be a lot of traveling for the Ramblers, though. But they're not doing buses anymore. They're flying private for a lot of their games now. So they'll be fine when they go to East Coast
Atlantic
games.
10.
Because they're going to be a lot. That's a lot of games to go on the East Coast. I just said Fordham in New York, Richmond, Fordham, which is in New York. Or did I just say Fordham? St. Joe's, which is in Philly. St. Bonnie's, which I believe is on the East Coast as well.
St.
And then the
Bonnie's.
closest school to us is St. Louis, where the closest school before in Missouri Valley was Valpo, which took less than an hour drive. So it kind of just shows how, I think it shows more how the program's growing and how it's moving in a great direction where
Absolutely.
we're wanted in this
Absolutely.
conference.
Absolutely.
We're wanted to come into this big basketball conference to not only help ourselves, but to help the conference grow and to support more and to
For sure.
keep growing.
For sure. I would love to see like this program. I mean, we definitely have Chicago players, but man, if we become a hub of like, yo, like this is where the top Chicago players want to go. Is what's it called? Is Loyola. And now that they're in a new conference, it's like, oh, okay, now we're gonna have more. I don't know. More people will see the Loyola Ramblers program and everything. You know, we'll probably have more nationally televised games, if not, you know, ESPN3 or whatever, ESPN2 or something. I mean, absolutely, man. I think the only, I don't want to call it a downside because it's an upgrade, but at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like at this point where we are right now, we're not guaranteed, obviously, any success, but being that we're at this type of stature and the level of basketball we're playing, being in the Missouri Valley Conference, I feel like at this point right now, again, knock on wood, not guaranteeing anything, we have a better percentage of winning this conference, right, to get to the tournament than we would in this new conference.
Yeah.
You know? So that'll be the pressure on the Loyola Ramblers program moving forward. It's like, okay, now that we've, you know, become the Wichita State of the Missouri Valley Conference, now we're moving on.
Just like Wichita did back in 2017.
Exactly. Are we going to be able to maintain this level of success? Or are we going to start to fall, you know, in between the cracks again? So it'll be a big test for the Loyola Ramblers.
Yeah, and there was a tough transition when we first came into the Valley. I mean, we didn't really compete in the Valley very well for the first couple of years. It wasn't until like Cam got here and then once Cameron Crowig, like his era was the best era in Loyola history.
Literally.
He's one of the winningest players of all time, but only behind Lucas Williamson and Will Alcock now because they took their extra year while Cam went to go play pro. But there are a lot of people predicting that we'll compete right away in the A10. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a bigger challenge because more teams, obviously, better talent, more East Coast schools which have plenty of money. But Loyola's putting more money into their program. When they built the new practice arena a couple of years ago, when they upgraded Gentile, they're just doing a lot of more upgrades, putting a heavy focus more on social media and the content, trying to act like a big five program, like a Power 5 program. They want to try to show it as much as they can, and they're continuing to grow that. And I think with Drew in place, it's kind of a good time for this transition because you have a guy who you're confident in can continue to lead the program, a young guy who can be here for a while to help that transition period, and who's going to continue to recruit great guys. You were saying that will hopefully result in more Chicago recruits. Lucas is a prime example of that. Marquise Kennedy, Ty Johnson, who's a new freshman from DePaul Prep. And a lot of that has to do with guys like Milton and Dante who kind of set that stage for the local kids to come in and make an impact on the program, because no one from Chicago really wanted to come here for a while.
Absolutely not.
It wasn't really till Milton and Dante kind of came in and showed how a local kid can kind of take over this program.
Absolutely, man. It's all about opportunities and, you know, the right fit. And that's for sure, man. I mean, like, before I even, you know, was aware of Loyola and was like, okay, this is where I want to go to school, bro, I had never, growing up in Chicago, heard about anybody talking about the Loyola Ramblers, whether it was basketball or just anything. You know, it's like I knew a couple people that were older than me when I was a kid that were going to the school, you know, so I was kind of familiar with it. But other than that, it's just like you didn't hear anything about it. You know, I knew about DePaul program and UIC and U of I and yada, 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 you know, but it's like, man, it's just cool to, like you said, literally have a successful NCAA basketball program, Division I, in our backyard, you know, and it's beautiful. And it sucks that Porter Moser left, obviously, but it's like Drew Valentine, I was gonna say Denzel, Drew Valentine, you know, in part because of Denzel, I don't want to say fully, but just that kind of connection, I think, helps Drew Valentine's kind of brand in terms of giving an overall face, you know, that I feel like, I don't know, if we didn't have Drew Valentine, it may have been a little bit harder of a transition. What's it called? With Porter Moser leaving, you know? I don't know for sure, but that's just kind of how I feel. If it was just like I don't want to say some random person. I guess, random.
Yeah,
you know,
someone else off the street.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
having a guy who's already in the program, who's helped build the program, built the culture, as Porter loved to stress, culture. Drew was a big part of building that culture that was made the past 4 years. Because Drew's first year was the Final Four year.
Really?
That was his first year on the staff.
Damn, that's
was
crazy.
that Final Four year,
That's
which is crazy. And he was so young then, and he's still under 30 now, which is crazy that he's not even 30.
Nuts. That's crazy.
The youngest coach in D1, and you know that Steve Watson, the athletic director, and the whole staff have confidence in him, and they wouldn't have just hired him just because of a novelty. Like
Absolutely.
they've seen what he can do. They know he's knowledgeable, and he was a big recruiting guy. Like he was a big guy to like take the guys on, like take people on tours, show them around campus, talk to them about what they wanted, what they expected from them, yada, and all those sort of things. So to put your program in that guy's kind of hands is huge, and it puts the program and the whole school in a great position to succeed over the next 10 plus years.
Absolutely.
Or however long they stay in the A10 before we move up to the Big Ten.
Absolutely.
We're only going upwards. If we were only in the Valley for 8 years, we'll go to the A10 for about 10 years, and then we'll be in the Big Ten. But at that point, there might not even be conferences, so who knows? Who knows? Because football teams, they don't want to have conferences anymore. They just want to make one big conference, so who knows?
True. We'll see, man.
No, we will see. But the future is very bright for Loyola basketball, and this season especially with this roster, led by seniors Lucas Williamson and Hare Uguak, who this first 3 games he's looked like a whole different animal, hitting threes, showing energy on both sides of the floor, getting down on the floor for loose balls.
Yeah.
He's looked great these past 3 games, and his growth over the past few years has been very exciting. And if he only gets better this year, then the Valley's screwed. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Like if Hare Uguak plays at like player of the year levels, like if he's going to be our best player, then the whole league is going to be in trouble. They're going to be very much in trouble because teams like you and I haven't looked great. Drake's won their games, but so it's really going to be us and Drake. But I don't know. I don't know. These Ramblers are looking real good.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're looking very seasoned. You know, they're like a well-cooked steak right now. They know what they're doing. You know, they got the juices flowing and everything. It's just like that. I don't know. The Chicago State, the past game, they just didn't look ready to play. Like they were just like more than half the time weren't even looking to score. You know, and I think that was a testament to Loyola because it's just like they were just dogging them the whole game. Loyola was just hooping how they want to hoop, you know, and they were just smacking threes. They were getting to the cup like nothing. You know, the Chicago State tried to throw the zone, but Loyola did a pretty successful job of breaking that. You know, that's how they were hitting all those threes. They were just getting wide open corner shots. And, you know, the key to basketball is making those shots, and that's what Loyola was doing, you know. And, again, that goes back to being seasoned and just feeling like you kind of know what you're doing. You know, you've been through the motions a couple times now, so it's like it's exciting. It's exciting to see, and we're early in the season, so you know we're gonna have struggles. We're definitely gonna have tests, but at this point right now, man, from a kind of outside perspective, Loyola's looking good, man.
Yeah, because like Saturday against UIC at home again, they should win that game easily. And then that's when it starts getting tough because then you got Michigan State, and then you're gonna have at least 2 more games in that tournament full of great D1 programs. So that's gonna be the first real test of like where are we as like a whole team? Because like some of these games, like the first game against Competent State, that wasn't really a good contest, and Chicago State didn't really put up a good fight either. But shouts out to Florida Gulf Coast for putting up a good fight to make it sort of interesting at the end there. But the Michigan State game next Tuesday is going to be the biggest test. It's going to be a big where are we at kind of moment.
For sure.
Like you play those first 4 games to kind of feel out the plays and make sure, test with rotation, see if certain guys work well with others. But when Tuesday comes around, it's going to be like real deal Holyfield.
Is Michigan State ranked?
I believe so. Let me take a look. But yeah,
That would be that'd be kind of similar to 2018 or late 2017, should I say?
When they beat Florida,
yeah,
in Florida,
yeah, that was a huge game. I remember that, man. That was huge. That was the first indicator that year of like, oh, this team's different. You know, Loyola doesn't just beat number 5 teams in the country.
Yeah.
You know, like that doesn't happen.
yeah.
So
Michigan State is not ranked, but they
still a respected program.
but they have plenty of votes.
You always got to respect Tom Izzo.
They're the unofficial 29th ranked team,
Okay.
unofficially, based
Is
on
that
votes.
Texas I see up there? No, that's not.
Yeah, Texas. But they lost to I forget who they lost to, but they went down. But it's Gonzaga and UCLA pretty much,
True.
as everyone
UCLA,
sees, is
that's
the
what's
top.
up. UCLA is
Yeah,
up.
but this is this is Gonzaga's year if they win. I mean, I thought last year was supposed to be their year, but this one's got to be their
Who
year.
won last year again? They lost, right? Gonzaga.
Yeah,
So-
they lost.
Damn.
Who did win? Texas Tech, right?
Texas Tech? I don't even remember. That's crazy if they win.
Didn't Texas Tech win?
Texas.
No, Baylor won. Baylor won.
I was gonna say Texas Tech.
Yeah, I knew
no
it was a
way.
Texas school. Baylor was the one who,
Okay, Baylor makes sense.
because Baylor had a
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
defense last year.
Yeah.
That's
I
like,
say Texas Tech. Shout out. Sheesh. Still, shout out to Texas, man. Shout out Baylor. That's dope, y'all.
So yeah, looking much to look forward to for the Ramblers season, and they're gonna be in it till the end, man. They're always fighting. They always know how to put up big numbers. So
Yeah.
so just looking at some of the schedule, so then you have Michigan State, and then there's 2 other games in that tournament. You also have DePaul and Davidson in December, and Vanderbilt, who's a Big 5 but not a great Big 5. So December, and once the Michigan State game starts, it's kind of just like, all right, like let's lock down, let's win some ball games.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
They're not going to be as easy as Coppin State, Chicago State, and Florida Gulf Coast. Like there's going to be some real big boys, some real big programs coming in, or you going to them. Like we go to Davidson, we go to Vanderbilt, and we play at Wintrust DePaul for a road game.
True.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if there are more Loyola fans there than DePaul fans.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Yes, I would put money on it that there's more Loyola fans than DePaul fans at that game, because Loyola travels well, especially in the city. So I'm expecting that to be a lot of maroon and gold in Wintrust Arena.
A lot of Gryffindor in Wintrust.
Yeah, a lot of Gryffindor-looking people in that arena. Very much looking forward to that. But it's going to be a great season, like what we've seen so far. And yeah, I mean, like, and the experience, I wanted to point that out before we moved on, because you said you can see like they have like they just have the experience. Like
they got a swagger to them.
Yeah, the
now.
swagger to them, because you have the super seniors. You have Lucas Aher, Tate Hall, Keith Clemens, all who are technically graduate seniors because they took that extra year because of COVID. And then you had graduate transfers in Chris Knight and Ryan Schwieger, who was the leading scorer on Tuesday. Sorry. So then you have 6 guys who won't be in the program next year. So like that just shows where the experience, like that's where the experience is.
Yeah.
And then you have guys like Marquise Kennedy, who's a junior, Braden Norris, who's a redshirt junior, Tom Welch, who's a junior. Like there's so much experience all throughout this lineup that it really shows when this team performs on the court.
Absolutely. And yeah, man, I mean, now as you're kind of laying that out, bro, it's like, yeah, especially Lucas Williamson. I mean, once Lucas is gone, bro, like that's when the program's really going to feel a change, you know, because that's the final, I feel like, piece of, I mean, you still had a couple that were there and stuff, but I mean, Lucas was still an integral part of that, you know, and it's like, once that's gone, it's going to be like, okay.
Yeah, Lucas is the final piece of that Final Four.
Is he really? Nobody else?
Nobody else. It was him and Cam, and technically Aher, but Aher was redshirted that year, so he didn't dress, but he was traveling with the team. But Lucas is that last piece, and like I said, he is the winningest player in program history now.
Wow.
Taking advantage of that 5th year and already getting 3 wins this year, so he passed Cam. And I agree with you. Next year is going to be weird when all those guys leave, because with the first year in the A10, losing 6 guys off the bat, that's definitely going to be a strange time, and it'll be a tough transition, I can imagine. That's why this year I think it's going to be a big year for the program to kind of take one last shot at another Valley title before we leave the Valley. And I would love to go down to Arch Madness this year just to experience that one more time,
True.
like I did last year, because Arch Madness was a lot of fun last year.
That's dope.
And it's definitely a lot more fun when your team's really good and wins everything. So I hope to do that again this year and go back to St. Louis for that game.
Absolutely, man. Well, we gotta wait and see and hope and pray that the Loyola Ramblers do their thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting. Shout out to Sister Jean. She's still out there going strong, man. Repping Loyola Ramblers. Well, I'm trying to think what else is going on over there. It was just good vibes, man. Like we were saying, it's surreal, very surreal. So y'all go get your tickets up north, Gentile Arena, Rogers Park, Loyola Ramblers. It's a good time, fun experience. They're selling White Claws. They got the beers, you feel me? They got everything you need. So if you're trying to tee up, go and tee up, save some bread, catch a game,
Heck yeah.
and have fun. Absolutely. I want to shout out everybody that's tuning in with us right now. Anybody and everybody that's listening
Appreciate
to
you all.
our stream. We can't do this without y'all. So, you know, you're always appreciated. Much love to y'all. Hope you're enjoying and staying warm.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Let's see. We could talk a little basketball if you want, bro. Or is there anything you're talking about right at the moment?
No, I think the Ramblers was the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. And I think
Absolutely.
I've said my piece on them. Did I want to say anything else about the Ramblers? I think I'm gonna emphasize G Money's point. If you're in the city of Chicago and you're looking for some basketball to watch, some good basketball in a good atmosphere, and you don't want to go to UC and sit thousands of feet up from everyone else, Gentile Arena is a great place to watch a basketball game. They got beer there now. Tickets are probably cheap. You can get 200 level seats for very cheap, I would imagine. I don't know because I'm a season ticket holder. No big deal. So, but I'd recommend everyone come out to Gentile Arena for a basketball game.
Absolutely.
If not in 2021, then definitely should come out in early 2022. Those seats might be a little harder because that's going to be conference play, but that's when Gentile's at its best for those conference games.
For sure.
So for all you in Chicago, make your way out to Gentile Arena for some basketball. Men's or women's. The women's team's going to be good this year too, so watch out for them. Watch out for the Lady Blurs.
Absolutely. The Lady Blurs. How are they doing? They doing all right?
I think they lost against Northwestern yesterday or 2 days ago.
Damn.
But they're projected to be a decent team and compete in the Valley this year. So hopefully they do well. We'll see. We'll see how the season unfolds. It's still early on, so there's a lot of stuff still unfolding.
Absolutely, man. Well, on the topic of basketball, we've got the NBA rolling hard, rolling strong. A lot of good action. It's been an interesting start to the season for sure, you know.
Steph Curry's doing stupid Steph Curry things still.
Yes, sirree, my dog.
The Warriors are 12-2.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. And
They
Klay
beat
is
the
sick.
Nets the other night, right, in that big game.
They blew them out, bro. They busted them.
Who let the Warriors get
Busted
good
'em.
again? Like, whose idea was that?
Ever since they've been bad,
And
man, I'm
Clay
telling you.
hasn't played a game this year yet, right?
Nope. He
That's dumb. Who
looking around
let
Christmas
Steph
time.
Curry get open again?
Hey man, nobody can guard Steph Curry.
Someone should
and-
just I think it's worth it to play 4-on-4 and just have like not Patrick Beverly, but every team needs that guy to literally just like sit right by Steph
Yeah,
Curry and just
yeah.
like be on his hip at all times.
Bro, that was literally when the Bulls played them the other day. That was damn near Alex Caruso / Lonzo Ball, who are obviously really good defenders, and Steph Curry was babying.
And he
Alex
was still
Caruso, bro.
dominating them.
Dominating them, bro. Like no, you know me, I'm a Steph Curry fan, bro. Nobody's gonna stop Steph Curry, bro. Like especially now, he is just on a whole other planet as he's been. But it's just he continues to get better. Shout out to the Warriors for their player development. You know, they're drafting. I mean, Jordan Poole, bro. You know, like that is an amazing pickup. Getting Andre Iguodala back was huge.
That's a big piece.
That taller European guy, he's a really good player. He's a really good shooter. Andrew Wiggins is hooping, man. Like he's in the perfect scenario for him. And as a Warriors fan, I'm so happy to have Andrew Wiggins because it's like former #1 pick. You know, obviously he hasn't really lived up to those expectations of being a #1 pick. But it's like on this team, you don't have to. Just do what you're doing right now.
You just have to
know?
compliment Steph. Like that's
Exactly.
that's all you got to do right now, and it
Exactly.
seems and it appears like he's doing a pretty good job of that.
Absolutely.
At 12-2.
He's basically like a better Harrison Barnes in terms of the Warriors makeup,
Mhm.
you know. And once
Yeah.
we get Klay Thompson back, that's gonna take even more pressure off of Andrew Wiggins. So it's like, bro, just jump, you know, high fly, get those dunks, get some good shots when you can, play really good defense as he's been doing, and yeah, man, they got that thing on a string, bro. Like defensively,
That
like
thing on a string. I like that.
defensively, bro, like they are all tied and connected. Nobody is getting past. And I mean, bro, like the Bulls are a great offensive team, and they just could not get it figured out against the Warriors. The Warriors were
Mhm.
just like, we're gonna lock in, we're gonna lock down, and that's it. And that's what happened against the Nets. That's what's been happening against against everybody. Is just, you know, you have Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things, and it all comes down to the help around him. And to answer your question, man, it's just like he has the help again. You know, like a few years that season after, you know, KD left and was injured, and Clay was injured. You know, it was basically Steph and a whole bunch of young players, and then Steph gets injured. So it's like you got all your young players that just have all this time to develop. And it's like, of course, we didn't want Klay Thompson to get injured, but in terms of the benefit of the team itself, like Klay Thompson being injured was outside of his own demise. Like basically his absence is the safest way to say it. His absence was so beneficial to the development of the Lakers or the Warriors young core, you know, because
Yeah.
it gave them all the space and room to make mistakes, to suck for a couple of years. And now it's like everything is just aligning for the Warriors, and they're lucky that the league, I mean, it's continuously getting better, but they just caught up to the league, and the league is kind of like not downward, but they're just on a super upward to the point where it's like the
Right.
league can't catch up, you know?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because the league is, because the Warriors kind of came in and set the tone for what the next generation would be, led by Steph Curry, of course, and then everyone tried to catch up to them, and now they're gonna kind of reinvent themselves almost.
That's
Or-
exactly what it is.
Yeah, and kind of do the same thing but different, and
Exactly.
because they have Steve Kerr, who's a genius, Steph Curry's a generational, Klay Thompson's generational, Draymond Green's still a pest, and will do whatever the scrappy thing needs to do, and then just replace kind of everyone else around there. Sure, those core
Absolutely.
three have kind of gotten older, but they're still playing at a high level, or at least hopefully Klay will when he comes back.
Absolutely.
And just kind of change the pieces around them, and it looks like they're going to continue. They're going to dominate the West again,
yeah.
as long as they stay healthy.
And it's like outside of the years that they had KD, I think this is actually one of the like better Warriors teams, man. You know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah.
I mean, obviously with KD, they were just a different animal. They were damn near unstoppable. But it's like with this team, I mean, I'm kind of comparing them to that 2014-2015 season, their first championship season. And I mean, with a healthy Klay Thompson, this team is better than that team. You know, just talent wise, and then overall
Experience-wise.
experience, exactly. So man, I mean, you know, obviously you've got Phoenix, you've got Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, Lakers if they can figure it out. You got a lot of teams in the Western Conference that are, you know, that can definitely compete with the Warriors. So it's going to be exciting to see come playoff time, matchup wise, how everything, you know, plays out.
Absolutely. And yeah, the Suns have won. I think the Suns have won 10. Yeah, they've won 10 in a row. So the
Yeah.
Suns are on fire because they're the
Absolutely.
Sun. Of course, they're on fire. That makes sense. So they've been on a tear, and they're
They're trying to
'cause
get back.
They're trying to get back, but the Steph's like, I'm looking to get back to the finals.
Absolutely.
And Kawhi Leonard's like, I want to get back to the finals.
Absolutely.
And Donovan Mitchell's like, I want to go to the finals. And Luka Doncic, if he can carry the Mavs, he's like, I want to win playoff games.
Yeah.
And then if LeBron ever gets healthy for the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
you should never count them out of the playoff series. If
No,
LeBron's
for
healthy in the
sure.
playoffs, then the Lakers are automatically a contender. So,
Absolutely.
but they're at 8-8 right now. The Celtics are, I think, 7-8. Yeah. So the Celtics started 2-5, and then they went 5-2. So they kind of turned it back around after that debacle against the Bulls game. Like that kind of, they were imploding for a little bit, but they kind of righted the ship. I still haven't watched much of them, unfortunately. But I'm about to say this. they've been without Jaylen Brown for most of that streak.
True.
So
Since they've been winning.
yeah, since they've been winning.
Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing. We just gonna keep going.
But we all know. If you were watching 2 weeks ago, you already know where this discussion would go. But yeah, man, like I said, I just don't think there are very few times where I'm very negative about how the team's gonna be, and like I'm usually an optimist, be like, oh no, they can contend, or like, oh, they got like anything can happen in the postseason.
Yeah.
I just don't see it, man. I just
Yeah.
don't. Not
Yeah.
this team. It's just like the weird few games that have happened. Like the other pieces around are like good, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird team right now, and it's, to be fair, like I said, I've only watched maybe a game and a half total. Like I haven't watched much Celtics basketball this year, so I can't give a proper diagnosis of what their issues are. I just know the top one is the isolation ball with Tatum and Brown can be
Right.
over exaggerated sometimes,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think that's why Marcus came out and said those things, and clearly they've addressed those problems with the past few games where they've been 5-3 since that debacle. So
Yeah,
but
man.
but hey, it's still early in the season. Like teams have only
very
played
early.
like 20% of their games, not even.
Not
So
even, yeah.
you never know what can happen over the next few months, and
Yeah.
once you get into the playoff time.
It's
So
very early, man, and it's all about streaks. Like you said, the Phoenix Suns, they started their season off 1-3. People are like, "What's going on with the Suns?" Yada yada yada. String off 10 straight. Now they're looking fantastic. And yeah, man, it's just been a lot of good basketball to start the NBA season. It's cool that it's the 75th anniversary, so that's kind of got a different aura to the season.
the 75th anniversary logo is sweet.
Popping, yeah.
Because the 75th, I guess, is the 75th anniversary the diamond anniversary? Is that why they did it, or are they just doing diamond just because
I
it
don't
looks
know,
cool?
I don't know.
Either way,
It
it looks
dope. Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, it's dope. It's definitely
The
dope.
diamond with Jerry West in the diamond looks
Yeah,
tight.
It's a
Looks
dope way to
super cool.
brand,
It's
for sure.
a super cool branding.
Because this is gonna be a very memorable season, because of that. I feel like I think that people are gonna look back on that logo alone, 10, 15, 5 years from now, and be like, damn, that was a hell of a season.
And they're going to think about Dwight Howard being left out of the All-NBA 75.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, not everyone can make it, bro. So
They only took, I think I saw from their 50th anniversary team, I think they brought back all those guys, and I think they maybe took off one player from the 50th anniversary team. I don't remember who, or if they did, they took off like one guy, and then so like they just basically added 25 guys for the past 25 years.
that would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah,
it's like
which makes sense.
not take anybody off. It's like you already established these are the 50, and then add an extra 25. So it's good. I'm glad to hear that hopefully at least one was taken off. It sucks for that person, but
Yeah, I could be wrong on that, but I thought I read that somewhere,
Right,
but I
right.
could be wrong.
yeah.
But yeah, I had the list. I had the list of the 25 guys that were added.
yeah.
I wish I had it, but
I don't know if I would put Dwight Howard on that 75, man. I think Dwight Howard is a great player, and had a definitely great run and was definitely one of the most dominant centers in his time period, in his prime. But would I put him in the top 75?
would you put? I think he deserves a better case than Anthony Davis. Well, I don't know. It's tough.
It's very tough.
It's one. It's like I'm just gonna say it. There are a lot of good NBA players
For
who've
sure.
existed in this league.
for sure.
But like you're after a certain point, you're kind of just like scraping for like the minorest of details, or like you're like sure like they're very like players can be like, oh, they're very similar, and then like there's like one thing difference. Like does the ring make Anthony Davis like that his resume that much better than Dwight Howard's? But Dwight Howard has the ring on the same team,
Right.
so it's like one of those things where
like
it's kind of like
impact.
yeah, exactly. It's like impact where like Russ got on it, and apparently a lot of people didn't like Russ being on it, but Russ literally
I would put Russ
averaged
on
a
it,
triple double
yeah.
for a whole season.
I
Like
would put Russ on
like
it,
that
for sure.
season, and just like the triple double machine that he is, he deserves
He has
to be on
3
the list.
seasons where he's
Exactly.
averaged a triple double. That's
Exactly.
ridiculous, bro. Like that alone, he doesn't have to win any championships. Like that alone in itself is remarkable, man. I mean, that you got to respect that,
Yeah, and there's always going to be arguments about a few players, and because no one can ever be happy with a list like this. I think part of the way they do it is just to create buzz around it, and for for people like us to have a discussion about it on the airwaves about who we think should be in or who we think
Yeah.
should have been left off and
Yeah.
why this person was let in, why that person was let in, who would win, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're smart to do it. I mean, the NFL did the 100 best players list a couple of weeks ago, or I mean, no, sorry, not a couple of weeks ago, 2 years ago. At this point, it was like the same thing. It's kind of just to create a buzz around it, talk about the history of the league and how, and just to have people talk about how many great athletes have existed in their leagues in their respective sports,
Yeah.
and does a great job of doing that.
Absolutely.
So like part of the reason is to honor those players, but another part is just to create a discussion and to create, just to create talk about it, just chatter,
For sure.
coffee, cooler, water cooler talk,
Water cooler
if you will.
talk, yeah.
So words are hard.
You know what I was thinking, man? And this is a, people may disagree with me, and I may be a little biased too because I'm a Warriors fan.
No.
But I think I would take Anthony Davis off of that and put Klay Thompson on. If I had a decision, if I had a say, should I say, in that final moment, I would put Klay Thompson because I look at Anthony Davis and I think he's a fantastic. I mean, there's nothing to say bad about Anthony Davis. You know, great, damn near generational talent type of thing. You know, you don't see a lot of players like that. But I look at his track record and I'm like, you know, yes, you won a championship with the Lakers and whatnot, but it's like everything before that. I mean, individually, yes, fantastic, but you know, those Pelican teams were not really that good. You know, he made a couple playoffs, but you know, did not play well.
Right.
Overall. Even looking at it now, you know, you look at the Lakers now with, you know, you have Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook at the helm, you know, with injured LeBron James, and it's like, okay, you know, I understand chemistry and you're trying to figure things out a lot and whatnot, but I'm like, bro, you have Russell Westbrook and you have Anthony Davis on top of, you know, Carmelo Anthony and Rajon Rondo and all these other decent players. Like, I understand chemistry, but on a basketball level, it's like, bro, y'all should be winning more games. You know, it's like you have the talent, though. But it's you look at the game last night with Anthony Davis and the Lakers against Giannis and the Bucks. Bro, Giannis destroyed them. You know, and Giannis made Anthony Davis look like a baby. You know, like, I mean, he just was like, I'm gonna go at this dude. And you know, he couldn't small. I mean, this is Anthony Davis. He should be a walking 20 and 10. Got 19 and 8. You know, it's like decent numbers, not bad numbers.
Yeah, without LeBron, he should be putting up more. He should be 25 and 12.
Absolutely.
Like at least. Like you should be kind of going out there and looking to attack at all times.
Absolutely.
And it's tough. I feel like I say this every time we bring up the man, but Russell Westbrook, man, his just jump shot is broken, dude.
Yeah.
I just keep watching him do these pull-up jumpers, and I'm like, every time he shoots it, I just think it's gonna miss.
Yeah.
And not usually, but a lot of the times it's a brick, and it's literally like bounces off. Like there have been a couple where I'm just like, eesh, that looks unprofessional with how unsmooth that was.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he's a great playmaker. Always energy's always on a 12 out of 10, and he's a guy I want in a foxhole with me if I'm going to war against anyone. Like he's a guy that I want in there, but sometimes when he takes his shot selection, I'm just like, no, like you should just stick to the rim. Like get to the paint and attack.
No.
Don't settle for these mid-range jumpers or where you like pull up and you're just so robotic about it. I don't know, man. His just jump shot's so weird sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just like, the thing about Russell Westbrook is like, I want him to do well, bro. And it looks like he can do well. He can do well, but he just does not do well, you know? And it's like, with LeBron out, he's been playing better and whatnot, but you're absolutely right, man. It's just something about that jump shot that's just like broken, you know? It goes up and it's just clank, 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 and it's like, damn, bro, like, what's going on, you know? And I don't know. I think if anybody could answer that, you know, could help solve that problem, I think that would be solved by this point. But
Right.
I think it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him, you know, but can only hope for the best. And once LeBron gets back, you know, and if they're lucky to have a healthy team, we'll see how they're able to make it all mesh. Because, I mean, games are slipping by, and it's like, you can only afford to lose so many games, you know? Like, I mean, that's obvious, but seriously, you know, it's like if you're striving to be a championship team, you know, you can't basically put yourself back in the scenario that you were last year, where it's like, okay, you're fighting for a wild card position, just to get bounced by, a younger, more athletic team than you, you know. They're only a year older, and they only have older players on their team. And this season's only shown that, they're already being injured. LeBron is not as durable, obviously, unfortunately, and that sucks. So they got a lot to worry about. The Lakers, I know a lot of people are overhyping that, but at the same time, they definitely need to be worried. But at the same time, when you have a team with LeBron James,
Once he's back, they're going to be a different team.
You can never count him out.
Right.
You can never count out a
exactly.
LeBron James team.
Yeah, you can't count him out, and once LeBron's healthy, and you just have to assume they're gonna figure it out once LeBron comes back. He's questionable to play tomorrow against the Celtics, but hopefully he comes back sooner so the Lakers can kind of figure it out and hopefully get above 500.
Yeah.
Because I know LeBron wants to win bad, just as bad as Russ wants to win bad. Maybe that's why he keeps shooting, because he's like, I have to win everything now. I have to win it all this year, or else my career might be in jeopardy. But yeah, I think once LeBron gets back, they'll figure it out somewhat. So
yeah, we'll see.
That'll be fun.
We'll definitely see, man. But yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think NBA wise. A little bit on the Bulls. The Bulls are doing pretty well.
they're a wagon.
Tough loss last night against the what's it called? Portland
Trailblazers.
Trailblazers. That was a tough watch. We were up by like 20 points and gave it away. Gave it away. But I don't know, man. For years and years and years now, whenever we go into Portland, I never expect a W. And last year when we did win, I was like, hey, that's what's up, because the Bulls just always, for some reason, just suck in Portland. We just are always terrible. So that game last night was not a surprise. And once they were coming back, once it got to the fourth quarter, end of the third, and Damian Lillard was hitting 30-footers plus, I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to win this game. And they figured us out. And the issue with the Bulls right now is they're just missing Vooch. It's like we're missing Vooch, and that with the absence of Vooch, it takes away extra opportunities, because
Offensive rebounds.
well, yeah, but more so just offensively in general, because it's like the offense right now is flowing through Zach and DeMar DeRozan, and then Lonzo is pushing the break, but offensively, bucket-wise, it's Zach LaVine. It's the Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan show, and everybody else is helping facilitate that.
Right.
But a key factor to the success of those two has been Vooch, because it's like with Vooch, and shout out to his three-point ability, whether he's being consistent or not, you got to respect him.
Yeah. He
That-
opens the floor up.
It
He
opens
stretches
the
it.
whole floor,
Yeah.
because we got Tony Bradley, who, oh my goodness, bro, it's tough to watch Tony Bradley play basketball, man. Tough to watch him play. He just cannot catch the ball for the life of him. He has no offensive game, no shot. The only time he scores is when they literally dump the ball to him, and he's literally right here, and he doesn't even dunk the ball. He just he got blocked by Damian Lillard last night, bro. This dude's 7 feet, got blocked by Damian Lillard. That's a tall tale sign
That's
right
tough,
there.
Tony. That's tough.
Yeah. So it's been tough to watch him, but same time he's holding down the fort as best as he can. But yeah, with him being a liability on offense, it's like when DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine kick out that ball to Vooch, it's like, boom, okay, he's going to make the decision. With Tony Bradley, everybody knows that he's not going to do anything. So it's like if he goes in to score, he's going to jag. If he passes it or tries to pass it, he's going to turn it over, So it's like basically when he's on the floor, we're playing 5-on-4 basketball, literally. Like he's that much of a liability. So with that being gone, DeMar DeRozan isn't getting as many of his mid-range shots. Zach LaVine isn't able to finesse his way. It makes things a lot harder, and we get more stagnant. And then Zach LaVine starts taking just crazy shots like he was last year a lot of the times, and DeMar DeRozan it wasn't able to get to his spots as much. So teams are starting to figure us out that way. But if we have a full squad, man, I think we have enough offensive firepower, kind of similar to the Warriors, where it's like we can damn near be unstoppable if we're hitting shots. But it's a long season, and you got to go through these trials and tribulations, and in a way, it's good. You know, it's good to. In the long run, we want to win these games, but I'm okay with losing a couple games to get to the playoffs and be like, okay, we've been through this. You know, we've been up 20 points and lost.
Yep.
We know how that feels. You know, let's learn from it and move on, type of thing. So, play the Nuggets.
Yeah, the best teams are the ones that always learn the most from their losses.
Absolutely.
Take whatever they can from those losses and move it on to their next games. And,
Absolutely.
the Bulls started very hot, and they've kind of been not. They started like en fuego hot. So you weren't expecting them to go like 74-8 or you know what I mean? Like no one was expecting them to set the new record. So you have to take that for what it is, but they look like a serious contender in the East. I mean, it's gonna be the Nets. It's gonna be the Bucks. Like those are it's like the Nets. Like we said this at the beginning. It's like the Nets and the Bucks, and then it's kind of like whoever wants to be there in the 3, 4, 5 spot.
That second tier is Heat, Bulls, and Philly. If you know Joel Embiid is good, and if they get a Ben Simmons or other players in return for him, you know you definitely can't count out Philly for sure. And I mean I know they're not playing well right now, but you can't count out those Atlanta Hawks, man. Like I do not sleep on the Atlanta Hawks at all. I'm keeping my eye very close on the Hawks during this season, you know, and the Knicks. The Knicks, I mean, they've been kind of on and off, but those Atlanta Hawks, man, they will sneak up on you. You cannot let them get hot. They're too athletic. They're just too good, man. You know.
Yeah, they're definitely a very talented team, as we saw last postseason, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, they're fun to watch. So.
They started the season last year really not well, you know, and then they get Nate McMillan and they turn the whole thing around. So it's like, you know, it's definitely you can't snooze on them. Damn, Milwaukee's 11 right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. See, like they haven't gotten off to great because Chris Middleton was hurt for a while. Chris Middleton gets activated last night and they win. So it's basketball's big on just like who's the healthiest team.
Absolutely.
Like those are always the teams that do well, and
Absolutely.
you'd rather get the injuries out of the way now before they come in March and April, May. You know what I mean? So,
Brook Lopez is still out, no? Yeah, I know he's been out for a while. That's been huge. That's definitely why they're not doing as well, is because Brook Lopez has been out for a minute.
Could be. Let me look at Brook Lopez. Yeah, he hasn't played since October 19th, so he's still out.
That's a huge. I mean, same thing. He opens up the floor so much for them, you know, and he's huge. He's huge, you know, rebounds and just offensively, man. Like you got those centers, man. When they can shoot, it really opens up the whole game. You know, I mean, you look at the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. That's his first name, right?
Yeah, Nikola
Jokic, right. I was getting him confused with Vooch.
Nikola.
I mean, like, they have so many injuries, the Denver Nuggets do, but, you have this MVP, Jokic, that just does everything, opens up the whole floor, and he's a facilitator, too. I mean, it's just like, you can't guard that, and it creates so many opportunities for, even if, you know, it's not their star players, you know, open shots are open shots, and if you're an NBA talent, you have a pretty high percentage chance of making those shots, you know, if you're getting good looks. So yeah, man, like the center the past few years has really come back to be playing an important role in the NBA.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it's kind of like the NBA isn't like, the game is in two like facets right now. It's like teams are choosing to play one of two ways. It's like either you're going to play the Warriors kind of style of small ball and just attack and shoot, you know, or you're going to have the big man formula where your team is surrounded by this big man that can do literally everything, and then you just put, you know, athletic / shooter players around them, you know, and just kind of determine your success through that. So the NBA is just in a really cool spot right now, you know, because there's different ways of playing, and you know, with the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns being in the finals last year, it was like, it just showed that anything is up for grabs. You know, you can play your style of basketball, and if you're good enough, you can make it. You know, you don't have to just be a big three team, assemble all the greatest players. And I think the Lakers, you know, them just, I don't know, I don't think they're gonna win a championship this year, and I think just the distaste that's around the Lakers organization right now with just all these aging superstars. I don't know. For me, man, it's just kind of a tall tale sign of like times are changing. You know, LeBron's looking older. All these players are looking older. You know, physically, not actually. Like LeBron's still playing at a LeBron level, but just like just physically how he looks, he's looking older. You know, and yeah, man, it's a new era. It's a new era of sports in general, and you can feel it. You know, with baseball, Shohei Ohtani. You know, you've got the Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson's. You know, hopefully knock on wood, Justin Fields. You know, I don't know. It's cool to just see all these different evolutions of different sports. You know,
Absolutely, and we're blessed to be in this time period. And sports are always growing and always changing and always evolving, and it's kind of cool to see how all these sports are kind of changing at the same time and kind of moving on from. I know baseball's changed a few times, but the kind of changing from what we knew growing up and kind of, or what we had just like 10 years ago. It's like a different league all over the place. So sports are always growing and changing, and it's kind of nice to see it. And I think I've reached a point in my life where I learned to appreciate those changes and not, and instead of being like, what is this? Like, this is bad. I don't like this. This is stupid. I learned to take the positives and appreciate what those changes means for the future of the sport.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just, you know, in terms of sport in general, and shout out Keith Lambrick as I'm thinking about him as we're talking about this topic. It's just like, sport is just a metaphor of life, man, you know, and just as in life, in sports, you know, times change, people age, you know, things can't last forever. And it's like, I don't know, man, because from a basketball perspective and just as a basketball, like, super fan, NBA super fan, you know, where we are right now, the younger me is kind of depressed because it's like, damn, man, I miss the last decade of the NBA in which we grew up upon, you know, Kobe and Tim Duncan and Steve Nash and, you know, prime LeBron and Melo and all these different players, Kevin Garnett, you know, all these different players and eras, Vince Carter, Tracy, you know, the list goes on.
Yeah.
You know, I love the NBA right now and I love where it's at, but it's like, part of me is depressed, you know, and it's like, it's not the same basketball. It's not. I mean, this year has been a little more physical. I think this year has definitely been getting back to, like, you know, quote unquote normal.
Yeah, because
NBA.
they're not trying to call as many fouls.
But yeah, man, you know, it was just, you know, 10, 15 years ago, the 3-point wasn't as prominent as it is now, you know, and it's a different league. But my point being, whether it's basketball or any sport, you know, and like you said, you know, whether you like the change or you don't like the change, you have to accept the change, and, you know, greatness comes through that change either one way or another, you know, no matter what. Well, the beautiful thing about sports is that there's always going to be great talent, you know, and it's like, if you're into whatever sport you're into, you're always going to find those new exciting young players that are like gonna rejuvenate those leagues, you know. And that's what's cool about, you know, college sports, is that whether it's football or basketball or baseball, whatever, it's like, that's where you really get to see those raw, uncut talents, and you're like, is that player gonna be the next, you know, superstar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tom Brady, you know? Or, you know, it's cool to kind of speculate, oh, is this person going to be the next generational player, you know? So I remember when Steph Curry was at Davidson, bro, and he was like, there was a lot of hype around him, but obviously you didn't know that he would be at this level now and, like, literally change the game of basketball. And it's just crazy because I remember looking at Steph Curry, I'm like, yo, I like this dude. He's a cool player, you know, but you just never know.
Yeah, you never know. The best players can come from anywhere. Like, you're going to have guys like LeBron who were projected to be called the chosen one by Sports Illustrated at 17 years old.
That's crazy.
Or you can have guys like Tom Brady who were drafted in the 6th round, 199 overall. Yep. Luckily to happen to, by injuries chance, become a starting quarterback and become the greatest that the game has ever seen. And that's the beauty of sports, is that anyone can be successful anyone can reach the top level. It doesn't matter if you were the number 1 draft pick or the 200th draft pick, or baseball has a million rounds. So that's what the beauty of sports is, and there's always, that's the beauty of sports.
Absolutely, man. The beauty of sports. I'm trying to think, football. Is there any big football topics you want to?
The Patriots are
about?
back.
They're back. Mac Jones.
Mac
doing his
Jones is a
thing.
beast. The defense is good. They're winning 13-0 at halftime right now
Oh,
of
okay.
Thursday Night Football. The Patriots are back. You let them be bad for 1 year and let them get a first-round draft pick at quarterback, and you let the man who Belichick wanted fall to his lap at 15. So the league messed up, and the Patriots are back. So sorry to everyone out there, but the Patriots are back being a good football team.
And the Bears suck, ladies and gentlemen. So there's nothing new.
Hey, you won the bye week, so
Well, we won the bye week. Hey, yeah, no, there's no hope for the Bears.
there just needs to be changes in the front office or with the head
yeah.
coaching. It's not I don't think it's the players necessarily. I think they have plenty of talent,
Oh, I don't blame the players.
but
yeah,
I just something needs to be changed with the management.
I blame the organization, bro. It's just like the Bulls. I mean, now the Bulls, slowly figuring it out, but the Bears, man, it's just freaking depressing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It is just depressing to be a Bears fan, man. And I me, I'm not the biggest NFL person, but I always want success for my Chicago teams, and literally outside of 2006, that was a cool year, and a few years ago they had a really good team. But man, like, just being a Bears fan is so depressing, man. Like.
Oh, believe me, it is. I've been in this city for so long, and I've tried to root for the Bears, and it's hard.
No, but you
It
don't
is
know.
hard, man.
I understand. I totally, absolutely.
It's
but
hard. I want to
you
root for them
just-
so bad.
You're a Patriots fan, man. All you know is
No,
winning
I know.
and
I know.
success.
No, I know. I'm not trying to come off as this.
Oh no, I'm not saying.
okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying from a Bears
Yeah, yeah,
perspective,
yeah.
man. It's just like I'm just giving you what it feels like.
No,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Mhm.
Because all you know is winning, which is awesome. It's like being a Bears fan, man. It's just like, for me, it's just like I never have any good expectations for the Bears, even on their best season. I'm like, yeah, they're
They're gonna finish 8-8. They can't finish 8-8 anymore, so
No.
they're gonna finish 8-9.
I support Chicago. I always do, but I'm gonna be straight up, and I'll say it right now, bro. I'm like damn near not a Bears fan, and this isn't anything new.
You know what team you should root for?
Who?
The Patriots.
I don't know if I can do that, bro. I don't know.
Come to the dark
I
side.
can't. I don't know if I can cheer for anybody else
The
outside
force
of the
is
Bears.
strong with you, young one.
I'm trying to think. You know who I do like? One team that I do
The
like.
power of the
is,
dark
uh,
side.
No,
I mean,
ma-
Belichick is Sidious. Just look at him. The dude looks like Darth Sidious.
See, I ain't rocking with the dark. Oh no, I come with the dark side. It's pretty cool. They have cookies.
Sure, we do have cookies.
What was I gonna say? No, one franchise that I do like are the San Francisco
49ers.
49ers. Yeah, I've always
Classic.
liked them.
Classic.
They're just
Classic
one of
team.
those teams that I like. I don't know. There's something about the Bay Area that I like for some reason. I don't know. Warriors, they're cool. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's trying to think. That's,
Yeah, but now it's getting to the good part of the season for football, and it's gonna be the playoff push. I think it's wide open this year. I think in years past you could have pointed out to a couple teams, but every team's shown vulnerability, and a lot of the teams that everyone had projected to do well, like the Chiefs, just got over 500 last week. Like the Rams who started 7-1, have lost their last two pretty poorly. They played two pretty bad games. The Cardinals started undefeated 7-0, 8-0, have lost two other last three. Like teams that everyone was expecting to do very well have shown vulnerability and have some bad losses. So this year I think it's open. It's open to anyone. And like the Bucks have lost 3 out of their last 4.
Wow.
Like I think this year's it's kind of open wide, and thank goodness there are 7 playoff spots now, so more teams can get in and we can have more chaos that first wild card weekend. Because I think I think everyone's gonna be fighting for that 1 seed, but some of those lower teams may cause some ruckus and make some noise in the playoffs, and we're halfway through the season now officially, I believe. Yeah, everyone's played 9 or so games, 8 or 9 depending on who has the bye. After this week, it'll definitely be halfway for everyone. But it's a lot of excitement coming in these next. I guess is this week 11? No, it's week. Is this week 10 or week 11? This is week 11. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In these last 8 weeks, 2 months, these last 2 months of NFL football are going to be insane before the playoffs begin in January.
It'll be exciting, man. Where's this, the Super Bowl this year?
Los Angeles at the new SoFi Stadium, which is beautiful.
Not at Crypto.com Stadium Arena.
No, not. Russ was like the Crip Arena. What are you
Crip
talking about?
Arena.
Crip
Oh, that's
Arena?
hilarious. Yeah, they're gonna.
Russ was like Crip Arena.
Snoop Dogg's gonna be all over that.
Snoop Dogg's
one.
gonna be hyped.
I didn't even
about
think about that. Snoop Dogg gonna be all over that.
it.
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, man.
R.I.P.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. One thing I really want to talk about that I'm super hyped about, man, is this new Spider-Man. Spider-Man No Way Home, man. I mean, there's so much
What do you think?
hype.
Toby and Andrew, are they in it?
They're definitely in
They're
it,
definitely
bro.
in it.
I mean,
They have
you
to be.
can't not.
You can't bring back Doc Ock and Green
Absolutely.
Goblin and not have Toby in there.
I think if they didn't bring him back, bro, that's gonna be a huge disappointment.
I think everyone's expecting them to be in it.
They have.
So
to
if
be
they
in it,
don't,
bro.
everyone's gonna be mad. So
Absolutely.
mad.
Absolutely. I mean, exactly. It's like it's literally like you're bringing back all these people, bro. Like we don't even want them for that long, bro. They can make one appearance.
It could be like a final battle, like they come out of
Exactly.
nowhere and just like webs come out of like one of Doctor Strange's certain things, you know, and they can just
Absolutely.
like come out and shoot a couple webs and then like go. They're like, oh, I have to go back to my universe or else the timeline will like blow up or something.
Absolutely. Hey man, I think that trailer though only showed like, I mean, it's a lot. That trailer showed a lot, but I think that trailer is just like a small snippet of what we can't even fathom what we're really gonna get ourselves into in this movie.
Absolutely. And
You
I
know?
love Doctor Strange, like his character and everything about like that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
mystic arts or whatever.
Yeah.
So like him throwing in with Spider-Man is going to be a lot of fun.
be
And
tight.
obviously it's a multiverse now. The
Mhm.
multiverse has been like all these new Phase 4 shows and movies
Mhm.
are all just like shoving the multiverse at us. And they're like, hey, we know you saved your dimension, but what about other dimensions?
Exactly. It's
So
gonna
bringing
be
it all in.
nuts.
It's going to be, this new Phase 4, I think it's going to be chaotic. I
Mm.
think it's going to be definitely exciting with a lot of new characters because
Yeah.
they, like the Eternals movie we were discussing, Shang-Chi, which was really good.
Shang-Chi.
What was the other Phase 4 movie? I guess Black Widow, but R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Natasha. So like I was talking with some friends the other day, and it was like, yeah, these first 3 movies that they put in Phase 4 are like new characters or like an old character who's not going
Yeah.
to grow anymore. So
Yeah.
like, there wasn't a ton of hype around them, or there was, but like the next 3 movies that are coming out are the Spider-Man No Way Home, which just has the most hype out of like any movie. The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is going to have Scarlet Witch and
Yeah.
maybe Loki and like other characters, so that's gonna be hype. And
After
then
this movie, that's gonna be super hype. Yeah.
and then I believe the next one after that is Thor: Love and Thunder, which
Ooh,
is gonna be amazing,
that's gonna be crazy.
which is gonna be phenomenal. So like for them to kind of put these 3 movies and then the next 3, which are all like their big characters kind of coming back for another round.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be these next 3 are gonna be crazy,
Absolutely. And
crazy.
the Eternals, man, really opened it up to a whole new like level.
Mhm.
You know, it's like I'm really excited because it's like I don't know, man. It's like now it feels like I'm not gonna ruin Eternals and everything, but after watching Eternals and now that we're on, Spider-Man's coming up, it's like okay, there's like a lot going on in the MCU, but now it's like you've got what's going on on Earth, and then you got what's going on in the universe, and then the other universes outside
then the
of that,
multiverse and, like,
multiverse.
How these are like these cosmic beings and how they're like how like Earth is nothing for them, like it's just another stop in their journey of life.
Absolutely.
Like you're just like, oh, like this Earth these civilizations that are like, or this human race that's 7,000 years old, that's nothing for them. That was the crazy part to me. They're just like, oh, this is another 7,000 years on another planet, like we gotta go do another planet next. It was just wild to kind of see that perspective of like how these are really like like just these beings are just like so much more powerful and so much more all-knowing than any of the other little humans that we've seen before. Where one guy just puts on a shiny suit and one guy has just like super serum and one guy gets big and green. Like these people can like make things out of thin air. Like these people can control minds. Like these people can like create anything. Like it was just kind of wild to see. It was cool to see that and like how they kind of weave them into the growth of human race and things like that. And I'm really excited to see where these Eternals go forward from here. And the end credit scenes were bomb. I don't want to say much more about those, but those end credit scenes were sweet.
Absolutely.
I got the first. Unfortunately, I had the first one ruined for me before I saw it, but I didn't have the second one. So the second one I was pretty pumped about. But the first one, I only knew a little bit about the first one, but I still knew like what to expect. But yeah, those are going to lead to elsewhere. And of course, as always, everything ties in. So they're going to continue to tie in the Eternals, Shang-Chi, those end credit scenes in both movies and tie it in with whatever's going on in Spider-Man or Doctor Strange or the new Thor movie. Like there's going to be something. And there may be a new Avengers down the line. Probably not for a while.
Definitely. There's definitely going to be. But yeah, not. They're setting all that up right now.
My question for you is, do you think they'll ever be able to top Infinity War? Because, like, Infinity War was, like, a cultural event. Like, everyone was, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, that was just such a major thing where they brought all these, they made, like, 20 or so movies before just to lead up to this one project.
Yeah.
And then it led to the sequel to finish off the storyline from that. But, like, the hype around Infinity War, that's what got me to watch Marvel movies. Like, I heard about Infinity War, and that's why I started watching all the Marvel movies so I could watch Infinity War on time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I saw a couple before that, but, like, I wanted to rewatch them so I knew what would happen.
Yeah,
so, like,
sure.
it was just such a cultural event. It's going to be hard for them to beat that.
Yeah.
But they have Disney money now, and they pretty much have like, Disney's just like, hey, Marvel, Star Wars, we have Disney Plus, so you can make TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Go crazy.
And they're just like, okay, so they're just gonna keep making everything.
Absolutely.
Where Marvel like has stuff to build on, Star Wars is kind of just gonna be like, what can we make?
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, but I'm just curious what you think about it, because that's what's kind of been I've been thinking about it for a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's like how it's gonna be hard for them to top what Infinity War was, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, Infinity War, that's always going to be my favorite movie up to this point in terms of Marvel movies.
I rewatched it last week. Still slaps.
Absolutely. Even, Endgame was awesome. Endgame was great. But Infinity War, like, Endgame felt like, I don't know, like, Infinity War, and even Civil War. When Civil War happened, it was like, damn. Even when the first Avengers happened, it was like, damn. You putting all these together. Then Civil War happens, like, damn, okay, that's what's up. Infinity War comes, and it's like, holy crap, bro. Like, not only are you getting all these people together, but you got Thanos, bro. Like, Thanos, you've never seen, like, just this crazy, like, super powerful,
Titan.
just villain,
Yep.
So
Mad
it was
Titan.
fantastic, and it was just a fantastic movie. Like, I have no other words. It was just fantastic. To answer your question, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's different because the thing is,
Because they're building off of that.
they're building off of that. I mean, Infinity War was literally, and then Endgame was literally everybody. So now it's like that level is gonna be a while back, and I think they can top it in a different sense. I don't want to say top it, but at least meet it. To be honest, I think right now, man, this Spider-Man movie is damn near as close as we'll get to something that type of hype.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You
definitely.
know, because it's like, and I've heard some people say it's like it is. This movie is a cultural event in its own. It's like these Spider-Man movies were really what helped catapult everything, all of this shit. Oh, excuse my language.
Oh.
I'm getting excited.
your
I'm
profanity.
excusing it. There's always one.
Always one. We get one per show.
Get
it's
one
okay.
per show. So I don't know. I mean, Infinity War was definitely its own thing. It has its own aura. But I don't know everything. I'm just happy to see that the MCU is continuously getting better. You
and
know,
looking to one up itself. Like they're not settling. They're
Yeah.
continuing to work at it.
Yeah, you know, and I hope that they realize that it's like, you know, you made Infinity War, because after Endgame, I'm like, how do you top this? You literally just, and I mean, obviously you don't get lucky with a global pandemic, but in terms of in terms of movies and space and trying to restart and refresh, I think the pause of the world of the pandemic was fantastic for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it like rehyped, it made people wait like just the right amount of time to rehype everything, you know. And then Scarlet Witch show comes out,
Great show.
you know, which I still have I haven't seen any of those Disney. I'm gonna watch them in December for sure.
Yeah,
to
you gotta
catch up.
watch those Disney Plus shows. They've been really good, because like when WandaVision came out, that was apparently like they had to, because of the pandemic, they had to kind of flip the timeline around like
Right.
when they were gonna release things.
Right.
So like I don't think WandaVision was gonna. I think originally Falcon Winter Soldier was gonna be the first show
Okay.
before WandaVision, but then like things had to be flipped around. Like they couldn't finish filming Falcon Winter Soldier or whatever. So then WandaVision was the first one that came out, and I think that was such a good one for them to come out with first, because it was like. It's different because it's treated like a television show. Like the first few episodes are really television-y, like very like old school sitcom esque, and you have to see the show to like see why. But it was kind of a cool way for them to transition from the movies, like the cinemas, to the television or to the streaming platforms, because it's more streaming than anything else now, because that's what they're focused on. Because like I said, now Disney's letting Marvel kind of create whatever they want, because they have unlimited money, because they're Disney. And there are going to be more shows coming. They're making a second season of What If.
That's
What If is a great show. I mean, I've watched every Marvel Disney Plus show, and I've enjoyed them all. So I recommend them all to anyone who hasn't seen them yet. And they're all different, and yeah. But
I've been letting them build up because I'm really looking forward to watching them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, one will come up, and then the next one will come up, and then the next one will come up. So I'm waiting for Hawkeye to start up, so that
that starts in a few
that's
weeks.
in December, exactly. So I'm gonna let Hawkeye start up. You know, let it pick up. As that's going on, I'm gonna start from scratch, and I'm gonna go WandaVision and all that.
Yeah, well, let me know when you do,
I
because I
definitely
would love to maybe rewatch some of that with you.
True,
Because some of
that would
those
be
are
dope.
really good.
That would be dope.
Because I've been thinking about rewatching some of those, honestly, because I really liked all those shows.
That would be dope.
Mhm.
Binge watch a show. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We could have like Northside Plugged reactions and stuff too.
Mhm.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, you know, I think overall, like, the hype is just real with MCU. Like, if you're an MCU fan, man, like, it's very exciting times.
Yeah, the No Way Home hype is probably reaching those Infinity War levels. Like,
I think so, for sure. In a different
because a different way, because everyone's looking forward to Toby and Andrew coming into the movie, into the multiverse or whatever. And like I said, if they don't do it, they're just gonna be real. They're like, if they didn't do it, everyone's gonna be disappointed, and the movie's gonna tank. Because like if it doesn't happen, and like that first night, if it doesn't happen, people will like go on Twitter and just be like, immediately just be like, they're not in the movie. What the? So then everyone will be like, okay, if they're not in it, why? Like there will be a group of people that like a large amount of people that if they know that Toby and Andrew Spider-Mans aren't going to be in it, they're just like, I'm out. I don't even want to see it.
Absolutely.
Because like everyone's been looking forward to them being in it that much.
Bro,
I mean,
if I don't see it that first night, I'm deactivating all my social medias, and I'm not talking to anybody, bro. Like, I'm not talking to anybody because I know somebody will ruin it.
they're not stupid enough to not do that. Because they know that you would have you're even saying it right now. So many people would have that same reaction.
Yes. Oh, I'm already knowing, bro. That's just how people are. People are gonna go on social media and they're gonna ruin it, bro. So I'm telling y'all right now, December 17th, and basically that week until I see that movie, y'all ain't gonna hear from me. I'm gonna be MIA, because somebody's gonna open their mouth. It's gonna be the last case scenario. Somebody's gonna open their mouth. It's gonna be the least expected person. They're gonna say, "Oh, did you see?" I'm gonna be like, "Shut your butt up, bro." So. But it's very exciting. We're gonna find out. We will see. And honestly, man, like, even if they don't show up, which I do think they will, I'm still just excited to see what's gonna happen in this movie. Cause like, even if that doesn't happen, there's still a lot going on Like,
Mhm.
and this is what I see, bro. It's like, okay, now we know from the trailer that there's 5, right? At least 5 villains that are gonna be in this movie. You know, Dr. Octopus, Green Goblin, what's his name? Electro, Sandman, Lizard, and they even showed another Goblin. So I don't know if that's Harry from the first Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know, but they're obviously trying to do something, set up the Sinister Six. So say that I don't know what's going on with that other Green Goblin, but I feel like they're setting up like another villain that either we haven't met yet or it's going to be another villain like that they're going to bring back. And then just from that final kind of cut in the second trailer with Doctor Strange where they're outside and the sky's like purple and stuff and he's like they're coming through. That's going to be something in itself right there. You know, like this movie is going to set up something that we can't even imagine right now.
It's probably going to set up a big piece for the Doctor Strange movie.
Exactly. Literally. I mean, that movie is Multiverse of Madness, you know? So this is literally like that first taste of like...
Yeah, it could be like Doctor Strange's reactions to what happened in No Way Home. Like
Absolutely.
his response to seeing how the multiverse reacted in that, you know what I mean?
What if it's just like a big cliffhanger, bro? That would be it will be in one way or another. It's going to be, but damn.
See, I've seen interviews where Tom Holland has hinted that he's done with Spider-Man though. But like
I can see
But
that.
he would come back for like ensemble movies, right? He would come back for like an Avengers or like to appear in Doctor Strange maybe or like because I feel like he would never be done. And like I feel like Sony and Marvel / like Disney make too much money for that. They'll be like, nah, dude, you can't leave.
And he's young, you
can't
know.
leave.
I think what's gonna happen is exactly what you said. It's like, this movie's gonna play out. You know, he'll probably get like deterred for a while. You know, so that they can do other things. Because I kind of see it like this: like Iron Man had 3 movies, Captain America had like 3 movies. You know, it's like he's got his 3rd movie, and then it's gonna be exactly that. You know, he'll come in for like you said, ensemble movies or whatever. So, because you can't play it out too much, you know?
Right.
Especially if this is going to be a super hype movie and it's kind of like a conclusion movie. It's like, I don't know. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And I think everyone's very excited to see what will happen to Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Our good friend Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
What will happen to our ally Peter Parker in the new Spider-Man film?
I hope he's okay. I hope he's all right.
I hope he survives.
I hope he has a good lunch.
Good lunch.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I hope he has a healthy breakfast.
healthy breakfast. Trying to think, is there any other MCU excitement?
They
Not that I can think.
started filming Guardians 3 last week.
Yes, that's awesome. Guardians, it's gonna be fun.
There's so much content, man.
So
There's
much content. I'm excited to see what goes on with Adam Warlock. That'll be interesting.
Yes.
They set that up in the Galaxy Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So that'll be a big setup to see how I'm excited to see how just like powerful they make him in it. But yeah, just the whole cosmic entity of that they're instilling in the MCU is really cool. I want to see Galactus. I want to see the Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer in the flesh.
You know what I'm really excited for, bro? Who's one of my favorite characters in Marvel? Moon Knight.
Ooh,
That's gonna be dope.
yes.
That's gonna be dope.
With Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
That does look dope.
Yeah.
That quick preview they had on Disney Plus Day looked pretty sick.
Moon Knight is a really cool character. I'm excited to see how they do that with him.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, I'm very excited for that as well.
Do you have anything that you're excited for yourself?
I'm very excited for the Thor movie. I just love Chris Hemsworth, and since at the end of Endgame we see him with the Guardians, I'm curious to see how they bring that together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like the Thor with the Guardians movie, like how do they kind of go about those kind of things, and bringing back Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, because apparently she becomes like Lady Thor or whatever. That's gonna be cool. So
Lady Thor, She-Hulk.
Yeah, and Taika Waititi, one of my favorite directors, is behind it. and he's so good with that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see where they kind of move forward with that.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 Thor movies were kind of just like meh,
I agree.
and then they let Taika do Ragnarok. It brightened it all up,
Absolutely.
and it just made it that. And that was still one of my favorite Marvel movies is Ragnarok.
Ragnarok's
So
a very good
so
movie.
I'm excited to see where he takes Love and Thunder
Yeah.
in this phase 4, this post Infinity Saga kind of time.
Absolutely. No, it seems like they got it figured out, man. There was there were definitely some iffy movies in the Infinity Saga for sure, like origin stories or whatever. But I think now they figured out their formula and they're just riding it. They're
They're gonna keep printing money.
Keep printing money. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Any new albums or new music that you're listening to? New artists?
Silk Sonic. I've been listening to the new Silk Sonic.
Okay.
Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. That's what we were playing
Got
a little
taste
bit
of it
before the
earlier.
show.
Yep.
Anderson .Paak's one of my favorite artists,
Nice.
and putting him with Bruno Mars, it's just baby making music. I was talking to my friend Ty earlier. It's 30 minutes of baby making music, basically. Like,
Ooh.
just very that it's like what your grandparents or your parents listen to, like, except made by 2 modern artists. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because there are moments where it is a little modern, but then they like throw it back, like the Leave the Door Open, the lead single that they released in March, like that was straight out of like a 70s soul or like R&B album.
For sure.
And like a lot of those songs have had those similar vibes. So that's what I've been listening to recently.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But what about you, G-Money? What have you been listening to?
I mean, being an artist, man, I listen to new music, but I don't really, to be honest. When you're just in the continuous process of creating, especially music, I don't know, man. Like, I'm more in tune now with just like the local stuff or honestly my stuff, whether it's my music or, the people that I'm working with, ISO Code, or just, Northside Plugged artists or Chicago artists, I guess I'm just kind of in tune with the city, mainly. I mean, I'll listen to the
major releases, the major labels.
Exactly. But I don't know, man. Like, ever since I started making music, like, I'm not as big of a music listener as I once was.
I get you.
Whereas before I was making music, like in high school, man, I was just listening to everything. So it's like now I just need breaks from the constant
Music.
sonic, frequencies that are hitting my ears constantly. Let me see real quick. I was listening to some NBA YoungBoy.
Okay.
I was rocking with him. I was listening to Juice WRLD's new song, Already Dead. That's a good song. Rest in peace.
It's a weird title for him.
Yeah, but he was very cryptic in that sense.
Yeah, he was a very cryptic artist, so that kind of makes sense.
Nardo Wick, that Who Wants Smoke, that goes crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, nothing too crazy new. Pretty much just the underground scene is what I'm listening to, But speaking of which, we have ISO and I have a new track dropping tomorrow, possibly tonight, called Money Time. I know he wanted me to shout that out. So Money Time, man. BossDan helped us. Oh, I ain't even gonna say it. BossDan helped on the project. That's all I'm gonna say for now. But yeah, man,
I produced it
he made the whole beat
from scratch.
Absolutely.
I've made my own drum kit for it for my own 808s.
The BossDan drum kit, absolutely. He had all the pot. He was recording all the pots and pans at the crib and mixing them down, and it just went crazy.
You can hear my neighbor. You can hear my neighbors in the background of one of the hooks. So I apologize for that.
The cowbell, absolutely. But yeah, man, it's exciting. ISO and I haven't dropped like a collab song in a long time, man. Possibly since we dropped Lakeshore Drive. Now that I think about it, yeah, it's been a while. We dropped that in like 2017. So it's exciting. It's a new era of our collabs, and we got a lot together, man. So we wanted to end the year strong and start the year even stronger. So Money Time is going to be out on all platforms. It's going to be, in terms of Ice One Eye, it's going to be the first of the avalanche, man. So y'all get in tune. Go stream Money Time. That's $3 time. That's going to be on all streaming platforms. Good vibes, good energy. I think it's the perfect track to drop right now, as we're, steering into the winter cold time, which is Money Time. It's kind of that time to hone in. Summer and fall are ending. It's not hot out. You can't be outside, messing around. It's time to, go get that money and grind and make things happen for yourself and your people. So go stream Money Time, y'all.
Yeah, go stream that as it releases tonight. It's a great song. Make sure you go tune that in.
It's Money Time, Lil B, Money Time. Do that G Money Bop.
One time.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's all that I have. Is there any other topics that you have on your head that you want to share with the Northside Plug people?
No, I think that's it. I think we had a good discussion. We had a good MCU talk, which I was glad we kind of
Absolutely.
we snuck in there.
Absolutely. No, that'll be exciting, man. We got Thanksgiving coming up, so I hope BossDan's turkey. So I hope that, everybody has a super blessed Thanksgiving, can be with their families, stuff your faces. Don't let the fam drive you too crazy. Yeah, man, I just hope everyone can be blessed and stay warm and do good for people that may not be as fortunate as you are. And that's, kind of the key of Thanksgiving is, reflecting and,
Being thankful.
being thankful.
Being thankful for what you have and not. I think a lot of times, I know I do this often, we stress over what we don't have.
For sure.
I think this time of year, or this week especially, kind of is a good time to just be thankful for what you do have.
Absolutely.
Whether it be simple things just like having a family or having friends, or for me, I think it just having the ability to go back home to such a understanding and loving group of friends and family. I think that's what I'm very thankful for.
Absolutely.
And I always, that at this time of year always reminds me of what I truly have, and to remind myself that don't stress over what you don't have or what you haven't achieved, but be thankful for what you do have and what you have achieved.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better, man. We're still young. We're only 26, and knock on wood, life is a long, long journey. And there's a lot of life to be lived, hopefully, and it's just so easy to get caught up in the now, and especially with our generation, since we've been young, we've had so much pressure on us to have everything figured out and be successful by your 20s, just in our minds. We think we're supposed to have everything figured out and be good, be able to support ourselves fully to the fullest extent. And it's like, if you're able to do that, that's awesome. That's what's up, but not everybody, everybody grows and blooms differently, and at the end of the day, all you can do is take it a day at a time. Like you said, appreciate and be grateful and thankful for everything that you have, and just keep moving, keep growing, keep carrying on. And, God willing, you put the right forces, the right energies into your life, everything will, knock on wood, pan out, and it doesn't always pan out, but at the end of the day, God gave us the power of willpower, and that with that power, you can step out of your own mind and step out of your own space of wherever you are and make it happen, for your peoples and yourself and whatnot. So, man, just
Well said.
Thank you. You as well, man. I'm glad we were able to be back here on Northside Plug, before Thanksgiving.
Before the turkey.
Absolutely, and have a good conversation. Share the energies with the people. Keep this thing rolling. That's all we can do.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. So, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Y'all be safe.
Enjoy all the food and drink you can.
Absolutely.
Responsibly. Don't drink and drive. That's very dumb.
Don't drink and drive.
That's the dumbest thing you can do.
That. Not smart. Just stay in the crib. Eat your stuffings and your turkeys and your cranberry sauce and your mac and cheeses and all that stuff. Whatever's in. What's your favorite? What's your favorite go-to You don't have to list everything, but what's your like?
My favorite thing that I
favorites?
eat on Thanksgiving is
Yeah.
my mom's apple pie
Nice.
with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of it.
Nice.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
That's my favorite part. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? The food wise.
Food wise, I'm a big cranberry sauce guy, bro.
Really?
I love cranberries. I don't even like cranberries like that. I just love
Cranberry sauce?
I like the jellied kind. I don't like the.
So you like it straight out of the
I like
can
it straight out of the can. Just looks like it's the shape
with
of
the
the
ridges
can.
of the
With
can.
ridges of the can. That's my stuff. I like that. I like my mom makes a mean green bean casserole. I like the green bean
Ooh.
casserole.
Green
bro.
bean casserole's good.
Green bean casserole's busting. I pretty much like everything except for the turkey. That's pretty
What?
much. I've never liked turkey.
What?
It's just
Turkey's
too,
an overrated meat. I will say
it's
that.
too dry, man.
It's always dry.
It's too dry.
That's why you have to put gravy on it, though.
It's still too dry for me, man. I don't enjoy turkey. I've never. I don't know. Like I put a little sliver on
The
my plate.
best way to enjoy the turkey is the next day on a sandwich.
That's smart.
That's the best way to
That's
enjoy
smart.
turkey. I honestly, I kind of agree with you. I don't eat as much on Thanksgiving just so I can have more for sandwiches on Black Friday.
I'm gonna take you up on that, man.
So you make it into a sandwich with some mayo and some extra stuffing or potatoes or cranberry sauce. Throw that onto that sandwich. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, the turkey gobbler the day after might be
Turkey
actually
gobbler.
that might be my favorite part. The sandwiches the next day are just so good.
Hey, I'm looking forward because I'm gonna have a Mexican Thanksgiving, so there may be some spicy Mexican dishes that
Ooh,
are
that's nice.
there. So I don't know. We'll find out. We'll
Yeah.
see what's there.
My Irish Thanksgiving will have plenty of potatoes.
Plenty of potatoes.
Plenty of mashed potatoes.
Plenty.
Oh, my
of-
mom's
I
mashed
love
potatoes are
mashed
good. I
potatoes.
can't wait for my
Yeah.
mom's mashed potatoes. Oh yeah.
I love mashed potatoes too.
Mashed
man.
potatoes and corn
Yes.
together. You know, put the fork and just scoop,
Yes. Yes.
scoop them all up. I'm getting hungry. Just
I'm
sitting
getting
here.
very hungry, man. I'm very excited. That's my favorite meal. I love that stuff, man. So yeah. So y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Shout out to Q4. Shout out to John. Shout out to Irvin. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving,
Yep.
man.
Everyone have a great and safe holiday.
Absolutely. On the topic of being thankful, man, we're thankful for being here in Q4, like we always say, and just keeping the ball rolling and hoping for the success of the continued success and growth of Q4, and glad to be here and glad to be a part of it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys.
Thank you all. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. And we will see y'all in probably December, right?
Yep.
For sure, for sure. For BossDan the man, it's your boy G Money G Note. Shout out Justino Cochino. Shout out to all the guys, the gals, all the homies and homettes. Shout out to the Northside Plugged family. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my godmother Gail. It's her birthday today. Happy
birthday, Gail.
Happy birthday. And y'all have a super great night. Stay blessed. Take care. Be safe.
Doing
Much
my-
love.
Doing my Sammy Sosa. Peace out. Love you guys.
Peace, y'all.